of Nityananda Prabhu. So we will begin chanting the mantra for glorifying Panchatattva. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Sri Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of the Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Ki Jai. We will read from the beginning of the 5th chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila, the glories of Nityananda Balaram. This is the first verse. Vande Nanta Bhutaishvaryam Sri Nityanandamishwaram Yaschechaya Tatsvarupam Agenapi Nirupyate Vandenanta Bhutaishvaryam Sri Nityanandamishwaram Yasyechaya Tatsvarupam Agenapi Nirupyate. Vande Nanta Bhutaishvaryam Sri Nityanandamishwaram Yasyechaya Tatsvarupam Yagenapi Nirupyate. Vande Nanta Bhutaishvaryam Sri Nityanandamishwaram Yasyechaya Tatsvarupam Agenapi Nirupyate. Mataji's. Vande Nanta Bhutaishvaryam Sri Nityanandamishwaram Yasyechaya Tatsvarupam Agenapi Nirupyate. Vande Nanta Bhutaishvaryam Sri Nityanandamishwaram Yasyechaya Tatsvarupam Agenapi Nirupyate. Vande. Let me offer my obeisances. Ananta, unlimited, Adbhuta, and wonderful, Aishvaryam, whose opulence, Sri Nityanandam, unto Lord Nityananda, Ishvaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yasya, whose, Ichchaya, by the will, Tat, Svarupam, his identity, Agena, by the ignorant, Api, even, Nirupyate, can be ascertained. Let me offer my obeisances to Lord Sri Nityananda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose opulence is wonderful and unlimited. By his will, even a fool can understand his identity. So there's hope, even for me. There's hope for everyone. Even the most unqualified person will be able to obtain transcendental knowledge if somehow or other he can get the mercy of Sri Nityananda. A similar idea is expressed by Brahma when, after stealing the calves and the cowherd boys, he was put into his place by Krishna, and he said, Athapi tedeva param bhuja dviya prasada leshanugrihita evahi. Leshanugrihita evahi. Even if somebody can just get a fraction, a little tiny bit of your mercy, then janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno. He will be able to understand your glories. And even somebody who may chirang vichinvan study for a long, long time, nachanya ekopi, he will not be able to understand anything. So Nityananda is especially merciful, as we, even more than Gauranga Mahaprabhu, in the sense that he delivered Jagai and Madai, although the Lord was at the point of killing them with his Sudarshan Chakra. So therefore Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in one of his songs, he says, no matter how degraded I could possibly be, your mercy easily extends to that degree. So, as I said, we can have the hope that somehow or other, just by a little desire and a little bit of humility, Lord Nityananda, he will be merciful upon us. He is Parama Karuna, the Dui Pahujana, the both Lords are the most merciful we cannot even imagine. So we will begin just by quoting some verses from the beginning of the 5th chapter, just to establish the tattva, the glories of Nityananda Prabhu. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations. Lord Balaram is his second body. The two are one and the same identity. They differ only in form. Lord Balaram is the first bodily expansion of Krishna, and he assists in Krishna's transcendental pastimes. That original Lord Krishna appeared in Navadvip as Lord Chaitanya, and Balaram appeared with him as Lord Nityananda. And now Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, he quotes a verse from the diary of Swarup Damodar Goswami, glorifying the Lord. And he says, may Sri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarshan, Sheshanaga, and the Vishnus who lie on the Karana ocean, Garbha ocean, and ocean of milk are his plenary portions and the portions of his plenary portions. Lord Balaram is the original Sankarshan, and he assumes 5 other forms to serve Lord Krishna. And in the few more verses he will elaborate on the position of Nityananda Balaram, and he says, Balaram, he himself helps in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, and he does the work of creation in 4 other forms. He executes the orders of Lord Krishna in the work of creation, and in the form of Lord Shesha, he serves Krishna in various ways. And in all these forms, he tastes the transcendental bliss of serving Krishna. Therefore, when he comes with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his name is Nityananda, eternally blissful, Premananda Sukhi. We also have that in another song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So this same Balaram is Lord Nityananda, the companion of Lord Gaura Sundara. So this is the section I wanted to read from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we will quote a few more passages from Srila Prabhupada's books, also establishing the tattva. In Madhya Lila, chapter 16, Srila Prabhupada, he explains the reason for building the Krishna Balaram Mandir. And he says that since there's no prominent Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan, we are attempting to construct one so that people will be attracted to Krishna Balaram or Nitai Gaura Chandra. Vajendra Nandana Ye Sachi Sutta Hoila say that they come as Krishna and Balaram, the son of Nanda, and Krishna Balaram come as Gaur Nitai. So to propagate this fundamental principle, we are establishing a Krishna Balaram temple to broadcast to the world that worship of Gaur Nitai is the same as worship of Krishna Balaram. In the 7th canto, chapter 15, Srila Prabhupada explains another important aspect of worshipping Nityananda Balaram. There he says that Jnanasin, the sword of knowledge, that is given by Krishna. But then when we serve Guru and Krishna in order to hold the sword of Krishna's instructions, Balaram, Nityananda, he will give the strength to do that. They come especially to deliver the fallen souls of this age. Papi tapi yatachila hariname udharila. Their weapon is Sankirtan, Harinam. Thus one should accept the sword of knowledge from Krishna and be strong with the mercy of Balaram. We are therefore worshipping Krishna Balaram and Gaur Nitai in Vrindavan. In Los Angeles in 1969, that means 46 years ago, on January 31st, that's one more day, on Nityananda's appearance day, Srila Prabhupada, he sang Nitai Parakamala and then gave a purport to this song. So we'll give our best to go rather quickly now so we can sing this song before 7 o'clock. So we will see the translation and then some of Prabhupada's comments on the translation. Nitai Parakamala Koti Chandra Sushitala, the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are as soothing as the light of millions of moons. Yechayai Jagat Jurai, the whole universe can get relief if it takes shelter under the shade of his lotus feet. So if somebody wonders, relief of what? The answer is from the struggle of existence. There are two fundamental principles in the beginning of spiritual life that one should understand. First of all, the difference between matter and spirit, and also that existence in the material world means suffering. And Srila Prabhupada, he compares this condition in the material world to a forest fire, and he says nobody wants fire in the forest, but it takes place automatically by the friction of the wood. What we want is this: we want peace. Everybody is hankering for peace on a global scale, on a domestic scale, on a community, any scale, even inside on the personal scale. Everybody wants to be peaceful. Nowadays people, they generally practice so-called yoga just to get some peace, to reduce the stress. But as Srila Prabhupada, he comments on this in that song, and he says, but despite so many efforts, there is no peace. Quite the contrary, today there's more conflicts than ever. Everybody's in anxiety, even here in Mayapur, in our temples, that any time a bomb can explode. This already has happened. So there's a threat any time. So, but everybody is anxious to get peace, but Srila Prabhupada says nobody goes to the fire in the forest, but fire takes place automatically. And similarly, in material existence, nobody wants any trouble, but automatically the trouble comes by social interaction. And everybody has that experience. Nobody wants distress or any conflict, but it happens anyway. So what's the solution? Narottam Das Thakur, he suggests that if you actually want relief from the struggle of existence, if you want real peace, then please take shelter under the shade of the lotus feet of Nityananda, which are cooling, as cooling like the shining moon, like millions of moons actually, Nitai Parakamala Koti Chandra Shushitala. Srila Prabhupada, he gave a lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam in 1974 here in Mayapur, and he said, Koti Chandra, millions of moons together, they cannot be so peaceful and cool as the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. And he says these examples are given in the Shastra, and they are not exaggeration, but they are fact, and we have to take it in good faith. Then we will benefit. The song continues, the second part of the first sloka. Heno nitai bine bhairara Krishna paitenai. Unless one takes shelter under the shade of Nityananda's lotus feet, it will be very difficult to approach Radha and Krishna. Drida kori dharo nitayar paya. Therefore, one must firmly catch hold of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. In this connection, Srila Prabhupada comments that this Krishna consciousness movement is for approaching Radha and Krishna, to be associated with the Supreme Lord in a sublime pleasure dance. That is the aim of Krishna consciousness. So Narottam Das Thakur, his advice is, if you actually want to enter into the dancing party of Radha and Krishna, then you must take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. And se sambandha nahi jar, brita janma gelotar, anyone who has not established his relationship with Nityananda Prabhu is understood to have spoiled his valuable human birth. Sei pashu, boro, durachar. Such a human being is actually an uncontrollable animal. When Prabhupada speaks about this, he says these are very harsh words, but they are actually true. The condition, well, we laugh, and hopefully we will not go back to that kind of condition. Srila Prabhupada elaborates on this by saying that without elevation to Krishna consciousness, through the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, life is simply spoiled in the animal propensities of sense gratification. Rishabdev, he also speaks about this in the 5th canto when he says, Nunam pramatam kurute vikarma yat indriya pritiya aprinoti, that if pleasure of the senses becomes the main focus in life, a person becomes mad and does not hesitate to commit any sinful activity to obtain the desired object of enjoyment, and as a result he'll have to accept again a material body, and generally that means a body lower than human life. Nitai na bolile mukhe mojilo sangsara sukhe. Because such a person never utters the holy name of Nityananda, he has become merged into so-called material happiness. Vidyakule kikore vetar. What can his useless education and family tradition do to help him? And here also Srila Prabhupada, he gives some comment. He says, since such people do not know Nityananda, they never pronounce the names of Nityananda and Chaitanya. Instead, they become so absorbed in so-called material enjoyment that they go deep down into material existence, which means to lose the opportunity of human life and possibly become an animal. And he continues to say, Vidya kule kikori betar, even if one has no connection with Nityananda, even if he has vidya, he has so-called knowledge or education, kula, birth in a high family, like these two fellows, or in a great nation. America is still more or less thinking they're the greatest nation on earth, regardless of whether one is born there and has all these facilities, but actually his life is useless. And it will not help him at the time of death, when you have to go to your next destination. So ahankare matahoya nitai para pasariya, being mad like that, and after false prestige, then identifying with the body, such a person will thinking, oh, what is this Nityananda? What can he do for me? I don't care. The typical attitude of puffed up false prestige. Asatyere satya kori mani. The result is that he's accepting something as false to be truth. And so we have then, Prabhupada continues to say that by the spell of Maya, we think that we are independent. This is the Independence Day, Republic Day in India. We can do whatever we like. We can find the solution to the problems of life by ourselves. And he says that is our material disease. No humility. We don't approach the Lord for solving our real problems of life. Nitayer koruna habe braja Radha Krishna pabe. Again he says, if you actually want to approach Radha and Krishna, you must first achieve the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Dharo nitai charana dukhani. When he is merciful toward you, then you will be able to approach Radha and Krishna, and then you will be able, and therefore you should take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. In this regard, we should also understand that without the receiving the mercy of Nityananda, of Guru, Nityananda is Adi Guru, he is Guru Tattva, he is the original Guru, we cannot attain the association of Radha Krishna, Radha Madhava. Not possible just by having some sentiment, by having so-called feelings of love. The important part is to overcome our anarthas in the heart and to become purified. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada often uses the term cheap or plaything. That Krishna consciousness is not cheap. It's not just some, plaything. It's a serious proposition, and to come to the highest level of realization, we have to do something in our own heart to purify. And therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he speaks about the demons in Jaiva Dharma, he speaks about those represented that were killed by Balaram. Those demons have to be, the killing can only take place if we also do something. We have to take some positive, active steps. The first demon that was killed is Dhenukasura. He's an ass, so he represents ignorance. Ignorance of spiritual knowledge, mainly, which means you don't know who you are, of the self, you don't know really who Krishna is, of the Supreme Lord, and you don't know what the holy name is. So there's a lot of false conceptions or just plain ignorance. So one has to do something, one has to study, one has to pay attention when sadhus, when guru, when the devotees speak. So this Dhenukasura. Then we have Pralambasura. He personifies the pretender, the so-called the pseudo-devotee who makes a show of bhakti, but actually he desires to enjoy this world, especially through sex, money and power. So to get rid of the obstacles represented by these demons, we have to get the mercy, spiritual strength of Nityananda Balaram. It's like the sun. The sun is there, but if we are under the clouds or in a dark room or hidden in some cave, then how can we get the benefit of the sunshine? It's not the fault of the sun. You have to do something. You have to get out of your condition where you can't see or can't receive the sunshine. So that means we have to actively change our position to get into the sun of Nityananda's lotus. Shade and then sun, simultaneously. It's amazing. They can give you all these benefits. So we have to make an effort. And then when Nityananda, when Balaram sees our desire, and he sees the endeavor, we are trying to overcome these obstacles, then he will appear in our hearts. He'll give us spiritual strength, and then everything will go rather smoothly. Nitaya Charana Satya Tahara Sevaga Nitya. The lotus feet of Nityananda are not illusion, they are a fact. One who engages in the transcendental loving service of Nityananda is also transcendental. So Srila Prabhupada, when he comments on this, he says one has to become the dog of Nityananda. Then he gets his eternal life. We are eternal, but under misconception of material identification, we are under the subjugation of Maya. We don't know that we are actually eternal. So Nitai Para Sarakoro Ash, always try to catch the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. So the last verse, Narottama Bhoroduki, Nitai More Korosuki. Narottam Das, he presents himself, he says, I'm very unhappy. My dear Lord Nityananda, please make me happy. Rakhoranga Charanaira Pash, oh my Lord, please keep me close to your lotus feet. In this connection, Prabhupada, he was in Bhuvaneshwar in 1977, and he also, this was Nityananda's appearance day, so he spoke about this song by Narottam Das Thakur, and he says, well, Narottama Boroduki, Narottam Das Thakur, he's the Acharya, but he's presenting himself as Duki, somebody who is unhappy, and that is the Acharya, that he is not Duki, but he presents himself taking the common man's situation. And he also says, Nitai More Korosuki, only Nityananda can make me happy, otherwise it's not possible. So that this may look like a selfish desire, I want to be happy, but actually it's natural. It's our natural position, Anandamayo Vyasat. We want to be happy, and there's nothing wrong with it, especially in the beginning stages, to have the desire to get out of material misery and become happy. And Srila Prabhupada, he always said, just chant Hare Krishna, be happy. I want you to see happy. This is important. So therefore, we can pray like that. Rakoranga Charanerapash. And Srila Prabhupada says, today is Nityananda's appearance day, so we shall always pray to Nityananda, Prabhu, kindly keep me under your shelter, so that I'm very dukhi, I'm very unhappy. Under the shelter of your lotus feet, I shall be happy. So let's try to be happy. Hare Krishna. So this is the song, Nitai Parakamala. And I think we have some time. This clock is wrong. We have 20 minutes. So let's sing it. You can play Ektal. Somebody knows to play Midranga Ektal? You know how to do that? Good. Let's see. Yes or no? You can? So then, why don't you do it? Get the midranga, get the kartals. Nitai Parakamala Koti Chandra Shushitala Nitai Parakamala Koti Chandra Nitai Parakamala Koti Chandra Shushitala Nitai Bharaka Ye Jai Jai Jagat Jurai Ye Jai Jagat Jurai He no nitai bine bhai Radha Krishna bhai te nai He na nitai bine bhai Radha Krishna bhai te nai Dhira kori dharo nitai bhai Dhira kori dharo nitai bhai Se sambandha nahi jar Brita janma gelota Se sambandha nahi jar Brita janma gelota Se pashu boro durachar Se pashu boro durachar Nitai na bolilo muke majilo sangsara suke Nitai na bolilo muke majilo sangsara suke Vidya kule ki koribe tar Vidya kule ki koribe tar Nitai parakamala Koti Chandra Shushitala Ye Jai Jagat Jurai Ahankare mata hoya Nitai para pasiriya Ahankare mata hoya Nitai para pasiriya Sariya Asatyere Satya Kori Vani Asatyere Satya Kori Vani Nitayem Unahave Braje Radha Krishna Pave Nitaye Karuna Habe Braje Radha Krishna Pave Dharonitai Charana Dukani Dharonitai Charana Dukani Nitai Parakamala Koti Chandra Sushitala Yechai Jagat Jurai Nitaya Charana Satya Tara Sevaka Nitya Nitaya Charana Satya Tara Sevaka Nitya Nitai Pada Sada Goro Nitai Pada Sada Goro Narotama Borodoki Nitai More Gorosuki Narotama Borodoki Nitai More Gorosuki Rakaranga Charanirmas Rakaranga Charanirmas Nitai Para